We thought we'd roll out a once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity. Music.
Inter.
Worldwide.
Inter.
Worldwide.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Inter Worldwide Podcast. This is Alessandro and this is episode 73. We are coming fast and furious like the games between Serie A and Coppa Italia. And so we're recording this podcast Monday morning, the day before the derby in Coppa Italia. So whatever happens from now and the day of the game and after, we don't know. Anyway, today's guest, we have Momen. Hi Mo, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good week.
I am certainly happy. And then we have a special guest today. His name is Fabio Pisanu. He is a digital strategist, content marketing specialist, and a professional journalist. He founded Football Nerds in 2013, and he called himself a food blogger. Hi, Fabio. How are you?
Hi, fine, thanks. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for the call.
And I forgot to say, he's also an Inter supporter. And the reason why I wanted Fabio here today is because there are a lot of chats around the new logo at Inter. Somehow the cat is out of the bag and somebody spilled what is supposed to be the new logo of our team. And I just wonder what happened and what's going to happen. So, Fabio, would you like to, first of all, introduce yourself better and then explain what's happening?
Thank you, Alessandro. I'm a journalist. I'm a long-time Interista. It's a family issue. The first Interista I knew in my family was my late grandmother, and she supported Inter during the 50s and the 60s. Then my father started to support Inter during the 60s and during this wonderful era for our club. And then I'm 41. I started to support Inter during the 80s, and it's a health issue. Is something that is deep inside my patience and my family love. These kind of things. I am the founder of footballnerds.it, as you said, which is a blog, one of the most important Italian blog about football boots, football jerseys, and football culture. And so this is the story. This is the travel. We worked for 8 years with a bunch of friends and partners. We work with the brands, the main brands that you know, so Nike and Puma, all the football brands across Italy and across Europe. But
so you are the perfect person to talk about this problem. Let's call it problem, even if it's not.
This is not a problem, but the story gets so big even after our first call a couple of days ago, because we had the new logo, as we said, also on the mainstream media in Italy on Sunday evening, I think. So we have to talk about this story. It's something to tell, it's something to explain, because due to the laziness of the mainstream media here in Italy, the story is a big chaos. but it's not a real chaos. It's something strategic, something important, but not a chaos, in my opinion.
Okay, let me recap very quickly what happened. So I think about a week ago, a little bit longer, the rumor of interchanging the logo comes out, but there are no images, no nothing. Then the rumor is like we're gonna change the logo, just keeping the letters I and M for Inter Milano, or I am Milano, and then the rumor is like we're gonna go on Juventus path, changing the logo completely, and then everybody started making up different logos ideas and blah blah. And then at one point somebody posted a picture saying this is actually the logo that we're gonna use. It's on a jersey, and it's a Nike product, so a Nike product. So this is it. And then Inter, I think, takes down the post, but it's too late, or at least somehow it's too late, and then it comes out in every Inter newspaper, Italian newspaper, and all over Twitter, and so now let's say it's pretty official that is gonna be the logo next year. Am I correct? Did I miss something? Fabio?
No, it's correct. It's correct. This is the story. In a bigger picture, we can see that this is the final part of a process, I think, because nobody can start to draw a logo 2 or 3 months before the launch. So it's clear that there is a club strategy, and it's pretty normal in my opinion. And if you think of the world of football, international football, we saw a lot of rebranding recently. Some of them are for big football clubs like Juventus, for example, but we have several examples. We saw in the United States, we saw Chicago Fire the last year and the next year too, because wasn't a good rebranding. We saw recently Montreal that became Club de Foot Montreal, changed logo, identity, name. So it's normal in the world of sport, and is becoming normal also in the world of football to change their identity, because it's a modern world, and nobody can remain the same of the last century, of the last decade. In this situation, Inter started this path, this process, as I said, several years ago. If you think of several campaigns, Not for Everyone, Brothers of the World, and all the different jerseys, also the actual jersey, which is tied to the Memphis group, and the idea of Milano as a city of design, city of art. These elements were all part of the process, in my opinion. The club needs to be more international, which is pretty curious for a club named Football Club Internazionale. But this is it. In my opinion, this is the point.
Right. So, if that's a logo, in my opinion, is not a revolution. So, why do it? Why do it now? Why this logo? Is there anything in particular you notice? Anything in particular that you want to say about this logo, this decision? Fabio.
I think that we have a very good logo, also in his latest evolution, because we have to say one thing. We have a logo for the society, for the for the company, for Inter as a company, and then we have a crest, which is something that you can see every Sunday, every match on the shirt, on the jersey. When we change the style of the crest, is more a restyling, and Inter had a lot of restyling. If you think of the crest history, we had dozens of crests during the year, also in the 1920s and 1930s, and during the 60s, and then during the 80s with this little snake, if you remember, and then also in the last year, the new identity was 8 or 9 years old, 10 years old. So it's not a revolution. We had this process a lot of times, but now it's something different. We need a more international image, because the football is global, is really global now. And so we need something different, but not because of the crest, not because of the logo. It's more because of the name and the international name of our team. Because if we talk about Inter out of Italy, was, I don't know, FC Internazionale, Inter Milan. There is not one way to call our team, and this can be a problem that the actual club doesn't want. I don't know if
I see. Mod. Yeah. Go ahead.
I have a question, Fabio. If if you saw the leaked logo, it has the yellow and the black only. I have the first question is, do you think this is a rebranding in terms of the colors? Because as Inter is known for the Nerazzurri, which is the black and the blue. The second is, do you think that the company, which is, I know that in America some companies they do this, they leak the initial logo to get feedback from the fans and the media to see what they say, especially for, as you said, the final touches, because they can keep the logo design, but they can change a color here, a color there. Do you think that they leak this on purpose? And do you think that these colors are gonna go well with the fans who are known for the love of the blue and the black colors?
I'm not worried about the colors, because every crest and every logo were studied to be used with different set of colors. Is pretty normal. Also, the actual logo is used for Inter in the traditional colors on the home jersey, but with different styles on the third kit, or on our digital the digital
Media, the digital media.
Yeah, on our digital media. So the color is not a real problem, and it's not a real issue. For about the second question, I think it's too late to think of something that the company wants to watch, because we are in late January, and we heard that they want to launch these around the birthday on March, so it's late to change something. I think this is an important question, because a lot of clubs decided to use their fans, use their communities in order to decide some changes. There are a lot of case studies. Also, Chicago Fire that made a rebrand without the fans in 2019, and now are trying a rebranding. Sorry for this horrible word, but a new rebranding using the fan, consulting the fan base. But the bigger the club is, and the harder is to consult the fan and try to decide something altogether. And Inter is too big to this kind of process.
So to reiterate this, because getting the feedback from the media after the couple of days, the leaked logo, I think most of the questions were about is going to be the color of the logo. So just to reiterate what you said, and it's very reassuring for someone like me who was living black and blue since I was a kid. It's only about the black and blue colors. Is that this is just the shape of the what you're understanding, and this is the shape of the logo, but the colors can change from like digital media to jersey, to the be put on the jersey, to the stadium, all the stuff, the banners. The color might change, but the idea of the logo itself is this is what they are trying to present.
Yeah, that
Can you repeat the question, please?
Basically, if the logo is this one that we're seeing, but not the colors are going to change based on the jersey or the wherever it's going to be used. Is that correct,
of course,
Fabio?
Of course. In my opinion, this is the reality of this situation, because I don't know where they take this picture. It can be a bag, it can be a seaside short. I don't know. We are a brand, we are a club, okay, but we are a brand, and we had several products. This is just a leaked photo. It's not easy to understand all the process from one single picture.
I think was from a training jersey, not
Very reassuring. This is very, very reassuring. Yeah.
So the other thing you mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying that we're gonna see this logo out in March.
This is one of the options. They said, they write on the net. I saw on Twitter that they want to present the new logo around March the 9th. I don't know if they decide to postpone because of all the issues that we have at the moment as a society with the Sunin group. They are trying to find some investors. This kind of problems are too big, were absolutely unpredictable. But we heard that it was planned a special launch in March 2021. So we'll see.
I see. Well, that's interesting. All right. I have a last question, unless Mo wants to know anything else. Do you have any more question, Mo?
I'm good. I got everything from Fabio. Thank you so much, Fabio, for clarifying all of these stuff for us.
Okay, I do have one last question for Fabio, and it's about the comparison that especially Italian media keeps bringing up with the Juve rebranding. To me, it's very different. I mean, Juve took the old logo and made something completely different, while we just modify ours a little bit. We took out a couple of letters, but the idea is the same. Am I correct, or am I missing something?
When I talked about the laziness of the mainstream media here in Italy, I was thinking about this specific issue because Juventus decided to find a new identity and use a new crest and a new logo, and was a special case for Italy because we are so conservative in football. And now it's easy to say for every team that we saw changing their identity. Oh, it's like Juventus. Yeah, they try to do something like Juventus, but I think it's a very it's laziness from the journalists and from the mainstream media. I know they want to sell more copies, they want more click on their website, but this is not correct in my opinion. Maybe the focus is the same for Inter and Juventus, but for every sport team at this moment, all the clubs, all the teams have to build their modern identity, a new identity, in order to stay into the modern world of sport. And so this is the focus. But first of all, I think that we had an excellent crest, which was designed in '98, and it was modern, was simple, was minimal. A lot of people talk about minimal crest, which was 7 or 8 years ago. The minimal crest on the net seems to be a game for the nerds, for designers. They try to simplify traditional crests, but as a game. And now it's we live in a digital era, and it's very important to have simple lines, something recognizable immediately. But this is the main characteristic, in my opinion, of our original crest. So I can see something too similar between Inter and Juventus. Juventus had an old style logo, something which is totally inadapt. I don't know how to say at the digital use because of the shape, because it was an old style crest, and they had the need to change and to modernize the image. Inter
Makes perfect. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Inter doesn't have this need because in a certain way the crest is perfect with the letters FC IM. It's just perfect. So the process, the operations is something different. And I think it's more about the name, to find an international name, a global name, which lasts for years, and which becomes something that everybody recognize. When I talk about Inter Milano, it's clear that I'm talking about the Nerazzurri, that I'm talking about Lukaku, that I'm talking about this specific club. There are no other needs, in my opinion, and but it's very difficult to create a new identity, to improve a new identity. But we are on the path, I think. Also, the jerseys, as I said, the tie with the city of Milano is stronger and stronger year after year. Do you remember the Duomo jersey 2 or 3 years ago? Was the third? It was a strong tie. It was something completely new at the time, and now it's usual. And we were maybe the first in Italy to bring an important element of the city identity into our shirts. And then we were not for everyone, and then we were brothers of the world. These are strong words, but are also our words from more than a century, if you think.
Yeah, that's perfect. So now let's go back and focus on the pitch. We had an amazing game against Juventus, and then we have a less amazing game against the other black and white team of Udine. And so I think Anthony and the others already spoke about the Juve game. I want to focus a little bit more on the Udinese game. It was scoreless game, very tactical. The field, in my opinion, was awful, and that didn't help anybody. And most of all, I think was one of the worst game of Hakimi, that had 2 or 3 chances, both for to score or to assist Lukaku, and it was never able to accomplish anything good, basically. So I think we had chances, but we were not able to score, and that's not the first time that happened, especially when the other team is mirroring us. But I want to ask Mo if he can explain a little bit better what happened. Please, Mo.
Yeah, the Udinese game was always going to be tricky because what you said about mirroring our formation. We always struggled with team playing 3-5-2 against us, or 5-3-2 in defense, because our forwards, our main focus is always playing to Lukaku's feet if he's on the field. And when the teams, they have 3 in the back, there is someone marking Lukaku all the time, and Lautaro or Alexis when he plays. And they have another sweeper, like the old Beckenbauer rule, sweeper to cover if Lukaku turns. Also, I think I am okay with Hakimi having a bad game every 3-4 games. He is still young, and he is allowed to have a bad game every now and then. I think we as Inter fans, we put a lot of pressure on his shoulders to perform every week. But I think this game needed other players to step up. And if we remember, the press for Inter in the first half resulted in a big chance for Lautaro, who could have slotted it better or maybe passed it, even though it was a very good save from Musso, but also as a top class forward that was a 90 million value forward, he should have had a better finish, and that would have made the game easier. Also, we need to give credit to Udinese because they actually closed all the build-up play for Inter the whole 90 minutes. The chance for Hakimi when he did not cross it good to Lukaku was on the counter attack when we got the ball from them and we moved fast. But otherwise, we couldn't even deliver one decent cross or chance when they were sitting on the back. And this is what people say, that Conte needs another plan sometimes, maybe to play from the other side. I know Ashley Young, people like Ashley Young. He is very consistent. He gives you, as if you watch Anthony, he is saying that always Ashley Young gives you a 6 out of 10, but you know what you are getting every game. Every game, you know what you are getting. But sometimes you need that extra flair on the left to take the pressure off Hakimi and to have teams thinking before they face us which side is going to be more strong for Inter. Um, People say it was fatigue, like players are tired after the UV game, but we had the players should be like having a good time to recover, but maybe mentally. But this is what I thought about the game. It was very stale, as you said. For a neutral fan, it was boring. There was not enough movement, chances, drama in the game. It was just a team defending very well and a team is desperate trying from the same side for maybe 75 minutes before they switched to the other side when Sensi and Perisic came in. And this is what I think about the game tactically. It was very stale.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, the other thing, I mean, Lautaro needs to wake up because this is not the first game where he had clear chances and he misses it. And at the end of the day, now in the back, we learn how to keep a clean sheet or at least keep the other team in check, but we cannot score. So that's always the problem. Fabio, what do you think about that game?
I missed the game, so I saw the
Oh,
highlights
okay.
and I read a lot of things because of work, and I worked
Got it.
on Saturday, so I missed the game. But I think that we have the, this kind of problem during all the season against teams like Udinese. I think Mo make a good analysis, tactical analysis. But I was thinking that there is also a psychological issue, psychological problems, because we have a good plan A, as Conte said on TV in the last weeks. But it seems that also some players knew that the plan A is play on the right, playing on Hakimi. The ball goes to Lukaku, and they are, I don't know, lazy, and they are not able to change something when Lukaku struggles, when Hakimi is not in form. And this is a problem because we are entering in a very important moment with the derby in Coppa Italia and with a lot of games which I think will be hard, like Udine game. There will be no easy game from now, I think.
Yeah.
And this could be a problem, I'm honest.
Yeah, and I mean, nothing bad against Udinese, because I mean just the week before he stopped Atalanta, and I mean Atalanta is pretty much in our same situation. So especially in attack, they have way more option than us. So if they were able to stop Atalanta, I mean, they are a really tricky team to play against. But Fabio was mentioning the derby in Coppa Italia, and here I want to hear Mo. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Is Milan going to mirror us again, or they're going to play their game and we have better opportunities? What do you think is going to happen?
I think Conte will maybe he will change a couple of players, and in my opinion, I think he might start Kolarov, and I know that Inter fans don't like it, but he still maybe trusts Kolarov and thinks that he is gonna turn to be good, the same as Vidal, because Kolarov and Ashley Young are
Kolarov wasn't so good in the first derby, so
yeah, but
can have it against the
yeah,
supporters.
yeah, Vidal was uh, the villain against Real Madrid, and then 2 weeks after he still played, he took him out. But then after this, he started him and trusted him, and Vidal delivered. I am not in favor of Kolarov, but I think it's a Coppa Italia, and as I'm gonna quote again our friend Anthony, he said a very important thing that Conte needs to justify his signings. He asked for these people. He needs a justification of why he signed these players in front of the board, of course, to get more signings in the summer if there is more money for him or if he decides to stay. But in the derby, I think Milan are gonna play. They have really good depth now with Tomori from Chelsea and Mandzukic, so they might start these players, and these players are still they are decent players. Also, we might start Gagliardini, Perisic on the left, Alexis might start this game. I think that Conte was expressed that Serie A is his priority this season, no matter what. Yes, Coppa Italia is good, important, but Serie A is what he thinks we should go after. So if there is any player that has a little bit of fatigue, he will not start this player. This is what I think. I think I want to see as a Inter fan and also as a football fan, I want to see a good game, an open game. It's Coppa Italia. We always say that the cup games are the best for the fans. We need to watch a good game from both sides. Predictions, I think this game will still go to extra time, like the cup games in the last round, because sometimes at the end teams get very careful about opening up and trying to attack. But I think Conte should have learned from the first derby, and we should perform better. And I think now we are on a roll. It's even the Udinese game, but we're coming from the Derby d'Italia win against supposedly the strongest team in Italy, and even Milan just lost 3-0. And I think as Inter, we do not lose bad with Conte. We keep our shape, and that makes a big mentality stability for us, other than Milan, who lost 3-0, and this is a big mentality loss for them. And we'll see what happens, but I'm expecting us at least to play a better game than the first derby, and maybe we'll win.
Okay. Fabio, what's your prediction for the derby?
We cannot play a worse derby than the first in this season, in my opinion, because it was an awful game. I think that Antonio Conte is totally focused on Serie A, and I think that we will see a lot of of changes between the players. I think, like Moa say, we will see Gagliardini and other players. But this is a good opportunity because Milan lost his last match at home with Atalanta, and this is a wonderful opportunity to beat them and to make them feel the pain and scare them. I know that it is a psychological point of view, not tactical and not rational, but I hope that that we'll try to scare Milan using the Coppa Italia in order to gain an advantage also for the Serie A. Beat them and kick them up from the Coppa Italia can be a plus, I think. So I hope that they play the Coppa Italia like it was the 39th game of the Serie A.
And so what's your score prediction if you have to pick one? Fabio?
It can be a tough game. I see a 2-1 victory on extra time.
Okay, perfect. Moa, what's your score prediction? You said already extra time.
After extra time, I think this will go to penalties, and
Penalties.
Handanovic will come big again.
All right, I really hope so. My prediction, I think it's the same, penalties, and that's I don't know. Everything can happen in penalties, so I don't know. I hope Mo is right and Handanovic can save a couple of penalties and we pass. Anyway, we were a little bit long today, but I hope we brought you good information, something that you didn't know, and I hope our prediction are correct for the derby. I want to thank Mo, and I know he wants to plug something.
Thank you everyone for listening, and it was great and good information from Fabio, and we learned more about the logo and where the club is going. As for me, if you wanna follow me on Twitter, my personal handle, you can find Momin Ali7 at Momin Ali7. Also, I make this quick tactical analysis for some games in Serie A and also Premier League. It is quick on my YouTube channel. It's Mo's Football Analysis. That's everything that's not interrelated football. And thank you all for listening, and hope to see you all soon.
And I want to thank Fabio. Thank you so much. And I hope to bring you back when we're gonna have the actual logo out and maybe some of our new jersey.
Thank you all, and thank you for the call. I'm really happy to be here and to speak the other members of the great family of Nerazzurri all over the world, which, if you think, is very close to the theme of a new brand and a new identity, but we know which is our identity. We are brothers of the world, so I'm glad to be here.
And if you speak and read Italian, you can visit Fabio's website. It's footballnerds.it, correct?
Yeah. Follow us also on Instagram and Twitter. We talk a lot of languages because the football community is very big.
Wonderful. Okay, and thank you, and see you next week.